Welcome to another exciting edition on Elorm Echoes. Say what? Clack it, clack it, clack it. I know you all can notice that my voice is down, but I still got you covered with exciting and yet interesting stories. And so upon popular request, we've got to do a follow-up story on the Rawlings Chain. Shout outs to over 300 views we have now on our channel for that particular story we did about the 1983 hunger. And so this is actually a follow-up story on other interesting events that occurred from 1983 through to 1985. And so let's get right into it.
Elorm echoes. Every story has a voice.
So on today's section or edition, our story is still about the Rawlings Chain, but the Ghana must go crisis. Imagine having 14 days to pack your entire life into a single plastic bag. Imagine the neighbor who shared your salt yesterday pointing a finger at you today and saying, "Stranger, leave my land." But for Mr. Akpalu, home wasn't a map or a passport. It was the smell of suya on a Lagos evening and the way his Yoruba neighbors called him Omogana, with a grin that meant brother, not stranger. But in January 1983, the air in Nigeria turned cold, not from the harmattan, but from a decree. 2 million people were suddenly told they were no longer guests, but ghosts. Mr. Akpalu sat on his porch in Surulere, clutching a radio. The news was a hammer blow. The Nigerian government had ordered all undocumented immigrants to leave within 2 weeks. "Achu, they are joking," his friend Nunana said, pacing the parlor. Achu was a man of the sea, a fisherman who had traded the nets of Cape Coast for the markets of Lagos. "They cannot deport 2 million people. Who will bake the bread? And who will fix their cars?" But the jokes died when the free-for-all atmosphere took hold. The streets became frenzy. Neighbors who had shared palm wine now looked at Mr. Akpalu's brick and mortar investment with predatory eyes. He had built a life there, yet he found himself packing his finest kente and his dignity into the blue and red woven bags. The bags that would forever bear the name Ghana must go. A man's life shouldn't be light enough to carry on his head, Akpalu whispered, zip tying the bulging plastic. The journey to the border was a slow motion route. Mr. Akpalu joined the caravan of trucks heading towards Seme and Idi Iroko. The heat was a physical weight. At the border, the world stopped. Ghana borders were initially closed by Jerry John Rawlings, citing security concerns after a recent coup attempt. Tens of thousands were trapped in the no man's land of dust and hunger. Even the dirt, the Ghana's spirit flickered. "Hey, Akpalu," a man shouted from a nearby truck. "I see you packed a mortar and a pistol. You want to pound fufu on the road?" "Charlie," Akpalu fired back. "If I leave it, the Nigerians will use it to play drums. I must eat my heritage." They laughed, a dry brittle sound, as they shared small balls of kinky that were more sand than corn. While Mr. Akpalu whispered at the border, Achu took the waterway. The roads are a trap. Achu Nyanya had warned. He boarded a rusted vessel, hoping the Gulf of Guinea would be kinder than the tarmac. For days, Akpalu heard nothing but rumors of overcrowded boats and the unforgiving Atlantic. Then, the world took notice as the 1983 crisis bled into the 1985 Buhari wave of expulsions. Under a new military regime, the logistics of human misery became an international spectacle. In the heat of the standoff, Colonel Gaddafi of Libya tried to intervene. He sent planes to Nigeria to airlift us back to Accra. We saw the wings in the sky and felt a glimmer of hope. But the Nigerian authority refused to let the planes land in certain areas. It was a game of chess played with human lives. We were the pawns, rotting under the sun while the giants argued. The suffering reached a point where words failed. I saw a mother try to feed her child with nothing but the moisture from a damp rag. I saw men fight over a single drop of dirty puddle water. We felt forgotten. We felt like the orphans of the continent. Then, we heard a sound. It wasn't the heavy roar of a commercial plane. It was a sharp, rhythmic duck, 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 duck. A helicopter appeared over the border. It hovered low, kicking up a storm of red dust that made us shield our eyes. As it descended, we saw the figure inside. It was him, Jerry John Rawlings. He hadn't just sent a message, he had come himself to the front lines. He didn't stay in the sky, he landed. He walked among us, his face tied with a mixture of rage and grief. He saw the Rawlings chains on our necks, the hunger in our eyes. Then he negotiated, he pressured, he stayed until the gates finally groaned open. Seeing our leader standing in the dirt with us gave us a strength that food never could. It wasn't just about the logistics of the trucks he sent. It was the fact that someone finally came to claim us. Mr. Akpalu finally crossed into Aflao. He didn't feel like a visitor. He felt like a man who had been peeled. He stood on Ghanaian soil, his Ghana must go bags frayed at the handles, looking at the horizon. Weeks later, he found Achu in a crowded port in Tama. Achu was thinner, his skin encrusted with salt. Having survived a harrowing journey where many were lost to the waves, he didn't hug. They simply gripped each other's shoulders. Two men who had successes and returned as returnees. Sad, right? Today, Ghana Must Go bag is a fashion icon, a steady carrier for traders across West Africa. But for Mr. Akpalu's generation, it remains a monument of the fragility of belonging. Home is not the ground you stand on, but the grace you are extended by those around you. The 1980s taught a generation that brothers can become strangers in the blink of a policy change. Yet, the resilience of Ghanaian spirit ensures that no matter how heavy the bag, the heart finds a way to carry it home. We didn't just bring back clothes. Akpalu would tell his grandchildren, we brought back the knowledge that a Ghanaian is a forest. Even if you cut us down in one place, we will sprout in another. But now the question is, if it happened again today, would we be our brother's keeper or his hunter? This brings us to the end of today's story. What do you think about this? Probably I'm going to build another story on how come all of these tensions died out, and today Ghana and Nigeria are one peaceful neighboring countries where we share a common goal of arguing and debating about who has the favorite jollof rice, and even our football, sports. When it comes to music too, we have playful and peaceful interactions and arguments or debates. And so I'm definitely going to bring you another chapter or edition on that. Let me know what you think about today's story, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel, and also share with your loved ones to also hear about what our millennials went through in the hands of our neighboring brothers in Nigeria. Thank you so much, and see you in the next edition.